Shri Matre Namaha, Shri Rama Raksha Sarva Jagat Raksha. Before getting into the topic, please like, share and subscribe to our channel so you motivate us in bringing out this sacred content to you all. If you have any questions or queries, any personal questions or queries, you can mail me at ybhairights@gmail.com because I am offering a paid consultation or guidance service. So feel free to contact me if you have any queries regarding your Kundalini awakening journey. So also for dream interpretation and also to analyze your astrological charts. I'm going to do the astrological analysis based on your ascension journey. So it's not going to be like a regular astrological assessment. It will be based on your ascension. So what will help, how based on your astrology, I'll tell you how your journey will be and how you will be able to benefit from your ascension journey. So I'll align your astrology with your ascension journey, and also I'm going to give provide the solutions for you based on your astrological chart. So based on your astrological chart, I'll give you a clue to your own ascension. So if you want that, you can mail me at ybhairights@gmail.com. That will be a paid consultation. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the Kundalini descent journey. In my previous videos, I've talked about the Kundalini ascent, and I've made so many videos about Kundalini ascent and different symptoms you will experience during the Kundalini ascent journey. Today, I'm going to talk about the Kundalini descent and what will happen during the Kundalini descent. So now, in between the Kundalini ascent and descent, there'll also be a phase where it is the merging of the Shiva and Shakti. It is the union phase. So that phase is also that phase is the most important of the entire. It is like that is the most precious phase in the entire process or in the entire journey. Not only has in the form of those stories which will listen the union of Shiva Shakti and Radha Krishna or the Narayan Lakshmi, but also it is very important for your integration of your own masculine and feminine energy. So you can also understand in that terms, in that perspective, that you are integrating both your masculine and feminine energies, and you need both your masculine and feminine energies for you to function in the optimal level. So that phase is also very important. So if you are interested, or you can subscribe to my channel, you can share these videos to all those people who need this kind of information, and also like, share and comment and show your love and appreciation in the form of comments. So now in the Kundalini ascent journey, I've told you, I've gave you so many videos now. And also I've gave videos on the union also. I've told you that I'm going to make it in layers, and based on how much layer by layer, I'm going to reveal it layer by layer to you. Now in the descent journey, we will see, I have told you that the ascent phase is something like, now the Radha is moving and she is moving up to reach to the Krishna. In the descent journey, what will happen is Krishna will come down. The Shiva will come down to reach to unite with the Parvati. So now the Krishna is coming down. It's not only about the Krishna or the Shiva, or it's not only about the Narayana, or it's not only about the masculine energy, but there is a main glitch here. What that glitch is, it's not just the it's not about the masculine and feminine principles, as I told you before in my Kundalini ascent, or in the Radha Krishna lens. If you did not listen to that, go listen to that. That will help you in understanding this video. So this is not only about a side or a gender or masculine or feminine energies, but it is also that God consciousness. I've told you in my previous video, previously I've made one video about the 3 different kinds of Kundalinis. One is Prana Kundalini, one is Shiva Shakti Kundalini, and one is the Para Kundalini. So if you missed that one, that is very important video. Go listen to that. So in my previous, go listen to that one, and also I have made Kundalini ascent in Radha Krishna lens. Listen to that also. So if you are aware that, or if you have been following me till now, you will understand that the Kundalini which is rising from down to up, that is Prana Kundalini, your own individual Kundalini energy. So this your own individual Kundalini energy that is rising and trying to merge its the own individual Kundalini energy. Now your own energy, your Atma, your Shakti, your energy is trying to, which is a miniature form of the divine feminine energy, which is a Xerox copy or the extension of the divine feminine energy, is trying to merge with that ultimate God consciousness, or the Godhead, or the God source. Now it's not only now the Shiva or the Krishna or the Narayan is not only that masculine principle, but also it's the God source, I've told you in other cultures also, it's like the earth mother and heavenly father. Why they will always say like that? So we always see that gods are in the heaven, we always see gods are up above somewhere in the skies. Why it is described like that? Because that is not just a masculine principle, but also it's the god source energy, it is source energy, it is a divine energy. So this divine energy has different levels to it. So for understanding that betterly, you have to watch that Prana Kundalini, Shiv Shakti Kundalini, and Para Kundalini video. That is very important. So now this from the Para Kundalini, that Kundalini will descend down, or the energy from the God source will descend down, and it will pour on into your head, and that from your head, from your head, that energy again it descends down, and it will try to move and in a downward movement. In this downward movement is the top down awakening. Now here your energy is moving from top to down. So I had my own limiting beliefs about this topic, but when I experienced it myself, all those limiting beliefs vanished. I thought only the Kundalini awakening will be there, and we don't have such concepts like top down or something like that. I was wrong. Some years back, I was receiving this kind of information before my awakening, but I was so ignorant that time that I ignored that topic completely, because I myself did not believe in that. But this soon before my awakening. So when I was about to go through the top down awakening, I received this information. Same just like when I was about to go through Kundalini awakening. Prior to that, 1 year before that, from 1 year before only, I had pre-Kundalini awakening phase, where I have made video on that. If you are interested, you can listen to my pre-Kundalini awakening phase video, where I clearly explained what will happen before your Kundalini rise. So same thing happened between 1 year back, 1 year back before my top down awakening. So when I was going through Kundalini awakening, also prior to that 1 year back only, since 1 year only, I was being prepared for my Kundalini awakening. So same for the top down awakening. Before my top down awakening happened, so since 1 year only, I've been prepared, I was getting informations, but I was not trusting it because I never experienced it. Same like how before Kundalini awakening, you will not agree upon it. You will be like, this is nothing, nothing will like that Kundalini, and all these things these are all mythical stories, something like that. You will feel, right? So after your awakening, you will be like, when you experience it, you will understand, okay, this is something real. So before your awakening, before your chakra openings, if someone comes and they talk about chakra, you'll think that, hey, what this person is talking like that. But you yourself, when you go through the chakra awakening, then you will understand, oh, chakras are real, Kundalini is real, this is not something mythical, or this is not some stories or made up stories. This is all real, and this happens really. And no matter what external people who did not experience it, what they say, but now you believe that this is all real. Same like that, I also believe that only there is no top-down awakening, nothing like that will happen, etc., etc., etc. But I was wrong. So before I was for 1 year also, I was in this confusion. What is happening with me? What is all this new kind of experiences? What kind of information I'm getting? This is all very new, and blah blah blah. All these things were happening with me. But then later, after my preparation for the top-down awakening for 1 year, I actually have gone through the top-down awakening. So now when I've gone through the top-down awakening, now I'm like, okay, dandam, namaste. In Telugu we say namaste, dandam like namaste, we say namaste as dandam, okay? So like haath jod diya. Now I'm like surrendered, so totally surrendered to divine. Like I have like so many things which I actually don't know, and I'm yet to know so many other things which are like whenever it's my divine timing, then those things will be revealed to me like that. So then I understood, no, top down awakening is also something which is happening, and which is because there's so much of information about the Kundalini awakening only. People usually find that, and it is easy for like those of them who are entering into the Kundalini awakening journey. There's so much of help available to them. But when it comes to the top-down awakening, there's less information about it, and it is lesser talked about, because not most people will go through the top-down awakening. That's the reason why it is lesserly talked about. So I've also made one video about the types of twin flames and Kundalini. Okay, watch that one also, because the journey which the twin flames go through, it will be also similar to that of the kundalini bottom up awakening or the top down awakening, but there'll be some major changes, and there'll be like some kind of a differences will be there, and also some kind of similarities also will be there. So if you want to have clarity on all those things, you can listen to types of twin flames and the kundalini. In that one, I've explained clearly about the kundalini and types of twin flames and what kind of similarities are there between the people who are having the kundalini awakening journey and also people who are in the twin flame journey. With that, we'll get more clarity. So now in this top down awakening, what will happen is, I have told you that in Radha, in the Arohana phase, I've told you that Radha is moving upwards. Now this is Avarohana. In Avarohana phase, what will happen is, the consciousness is moving downwards after the union. Now there is difference here also. Now there is a glitch here also. So for some people, it will be like they will directly go through top down awakening. Okay, so there are different types of kundalini awakening. I already told you. So one type of kundalini awakening is the process which, first I'll tell you the process which I've gone through. The process which I've gone through is, the first the kundalini awakening, the kundalini rise, the arohana, then the union phase, and then after the union, the Shiva and Shakti are coming downwards, combined in a combined form. Okay, in a combined form, or the Shiva is coming after the union. So there is a difference. There is a difference. How there is a difference, I'll tell you. So now the Shakti is moving up, and then there is a union point which is created, and then Shiva is moving down. So this is one part. This is one part which I have experienced, or some people have experienced. Or first, somebody who is going through the kundalini awakening first, they will experience this, and then later now they are going through the union phase, and then they are going through the top down awakening. They are going to experience this kind of a thing. But there are also some people who directly go through the top down awakening. They don't go through the kundalini awakening. They directly go through the top down awakening. Now for them, first for them, it's not union phase, or it's not the kundalini rising phase. For them directly, it is like a top down awakening only. For them, it's the consciousness descending into the matter. So for them, for us, it's like matter is trying to reach towards the consciousness, is reach towards the head, and it's trying to create the union, and then the consciousness is descending downwards. For them, it's like the consciousness is directly descending into the matter. For them, it's different again. For them, the symptoms will be different, and for them, the awakening will be different. Although all the experiences have some kind of a similarities, but then the experience which they are going through, or the journey, the story, and some things which will be different within them. So it's all, that's the reason why I told you, it's your individual journey. You have to analyze it and interpret it properly. So for them who are going through the top down awakening, for them it's like the divine grace which is trying to bless them, that light which is pouring out to them, and that light is descending from their consciousness into the matter. So the consciousness is directly coming into the matter. It's like God is directly descending into your body, and now you are that God being working through that body, right? It's like that. You are the God being working through that matter. So your consciousness, your God consciousness is directly, God is directly entering into you, and you are working. The God is working within you. It's not you anymore. It's like that. But for people who are like, so that's the top down awakening, where, and these kind of people, they like mostly they will experience grace, they will experience bliss, they will experience that godly states, they will experience so many psychic abilities, they'll experience so many they will not experience the things which are there in the kundalini awakening journey, because for them it's like in the kundalini awakening journey, it's like your own individual efforts, and with your own individual efforts, with your own purva karma or prarabdha, or your purva janma tapasya, whatever which you have done. Because of that, you are experiencing what you are experiencing. You are rising your kundalini energy. But here, the top down awakening people, for them it's divine grace. It is the descent of grace. It's the grace. It's the blessing. It's the blessing for something which they have done. For them to attain that kind of a blessing, which whatever they might have done in the previous lifetimes, or whatever they have done, or whatever they've gone through, whatever their story was, whatever the design was, and they have attracted that kind of a divine grace into their life. So that grace is actually helping them in their ascension process, and because of that grace only, they are experiencing what all they are experiencing. And that grace, that blessing, that consciousness, that divineness is actually descending into them, and that is trying to accumulate within them, and that is trying to change everything within them. So for them it's like that. For them it's top down awakening, and for them it's different. It's sometimes it might be bliss, or sometimes it might be experiencing God, the godliness, or sometimes they can feel that they are themselves God, because for them it's top down awakening. For them it's like the consciousness is descending into matter, so they can easily think that or they can easily feel that they are they can if they don't interpret it properly, they can misunderstand the journey also. As I told you that they are themselves God, but they themselves are not God, but they God consciousness, they have become that God consciousness. So there's difference. So they are not like they might even think that they are God. So but it's not like that. They are having the, or they are holding the essence of God, or they're trying to accumulate, or they're trying to accommodate that God consciousness within them. So that is the godliness within them. So they are the grace, the God energy, the divine energy within them is descending into them, and then they are becoming the divine being. So this is what the top-down awakening people. So it is like an individual direct top-down awakening people. So now we'll go back to the journey which I've experienced. Now we go back to the people like us. Now we are like we are rising our individual kundalini energy, and now we are uniting with the above, and then we are descending. Right now, then we are descending. This is also the consciousness is descending into the matter. So now the consciousness is descending into the matter. Here you will this phase of the journey will be a little bit different. In the Kundalini awakening journey, you have efforts, you will do your own efforts. Now here you are embodying it, you are integrating it. Here the things will become effortless. Now you don't do meditation, you are in meditation. It's like that. You don't meditate, but you are in meditation. Now your meditation time period will be less, and you integrate it more. Whatever has happened with you in your Kundalini above experiences, you in the Avarohana phase, you embody it. You try to become the vessel of it. Before your energy in the Kundalini awakening journey, your energy is here and here and there. It's everywhere. Shakti is everywhere. She's ever dancing. She's ever moving. She's like movement. She's consciousness. She's flowing. She's everywhere. She's Prakriti. She's nature. She's like filled with everything. She's a dance. She's flow. She's energy. She's Shakti. So she's everywhere. So something which can hold that Shakti, something which can contain that Shakti, something which can embody that Shakti, or which can give the direction to the Shakti, is what happens in the descent phase of awakening. So when I was in that Shakti phase of awakening, I was everywhere. My emotions were everywhere. My energy was everywhere, and I did not know how to protect myself. I did not know what to do with my energy. I did not know what was happening with me. I was like moving, dancing, expressing emotions, crying, yelling, speaking, shouting. I was expression. I was like doing all sorts of things. My energy was bursting out. Like my energy was everywhere. My energy was like doing all sorts of things. Where I'm crying, where I'm yelling, where I'm happy, where I'm in a bliss, where I'm feeling peaceful, where I'm more like a feeling and doing, where I'm expressing Shakti's flow. She's doing all sorts of things, where she's like she's doing whatever it is coming to her mind, and she's doing that. But when you are in the descent phase of awakening, it's more like embodiment. It's like containment. It's like you are accumulating all that Shakti into one safe container, one space, one safe space. So it's like the Shakti is water, and water is everywhere, and without any pot. Okay. So now now the descent phase is like a pot or vessel which can hold that water. So holding of the Shakti is the descent phase. So before it was all Shakti, and Shakti did not have any direction, and it's all flowing wherever it had to flow. It is like flowing like Ganga. Okay. But then something which can show direction to that Shakti, or something which can hold that Shakti, or something which can embody that Shakti, which can be held. That Shakti can be held now. That Shakti can be in a safe space now. That Shakti can be in a safe container now. That Shakti can be in can have a direction now. The Shakti knows her flow now. The Shakti knows her energy now. The Shakti knows her embodiment now. The Shakti knows herself now. That is what is the descent or Avarohana phase of the Kundalini awakening journey, which I understood and experienced. So if you also are in the similar terms, let me know in the comment section below. If you also experience something like this, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to listen to your Avarana or the descent phase of awakening, because this is something which I'm exploring now. This is something which is happening within me now. So I'm trying to express it the way I could, and the way I'm experiencing it, I'm putting it all to you all, guys. So now that Shakti got that disha, okay, now that Shakti got the direction, now the Shakti knows how much she have to hold back and how much she have to like go with the flow, or how much she have to like be within herself. Now she knows her boundaries, now she is in a safe container, now she knows where to open up and where to close the doors, and when to open the doors and when to close the doors. Now it's all is happening in a sacred container. Now before it was not, there was no any container, there's no container, there's no boundaries, no nothing. She's all doing whatever she likes, and she's all in her own way, in her own drama, in her own world. Okay, all drama is going on, some kind of a movie is going on. Okay, so now she got that, the movie got a director. Okay, that movie got a director, that is like a Shiva principle or God principle. Now it's not your own individual energy. Now the meaning or the symbolically what I'm trying to speak here is, I'm telling you all that now you're according to the divine will. Now it's not your will anymore. So before it was your will, you're dancing with your whips and fancies, and you're doing whatever you want, and you're expressing your emotions, you're doing however your kundalini is taking you, you're just moving in that direction. Wherever your kundalini is throwing you, you're just falling in that direction. Okay, where whatever whatever circumstances kundalini is giving you, you're doing all those things. But now it's the divine will. Now there is no free your plan, it's not your plan anymore. All your plan have wiped out. Now you're not the same person anymore, you have gone, you're dead already. Now it's your rebirth, where now your design, now you're designed in such a way where you will only and only be doing something which is like according to the plan of the director. The movie is running based on the director's choice. It's not your choice anymore. So it's the director which is running all the show. It's the director which is the divine God, source energy, or the descent of the grace, or the divine consciousness which will run your show anymore. Now it's the time of the divine consciousness to run your show, your drama or your life's drama. So it's not you anymore who is playing the life drama. Now is now you are just the puppet of whatever the divine is trying to play with you. So it's like you now is now you have given the entire control to your divineness, your divine plan, or your divine energy. Now that divine energy is the same energy which is within you, is your own divine energy. That divine energy is the divine energy which came, has grace to you, and your own consciousness which has descended down, your own consciousness which has descended down, and that consciousness is now running the show. Okay, that consciousness is trying to lead you wherever you have to go and whatever you have to do in this 3D world. Now you are not you anymore. It's that bigger you is that bigger divine self. Now whatever you're acting, whatever you're doing, whatever you're playing, whatever your drama, 3D drama you're involved into, you will be involved, but behind the scenes it's always the divineness, the divine consciousness which is allowing you to involve in the drama, because without the involvement there is no drama, right? So you have to involve in some kind of a drama, but behind that drama you have that awareness that there is some kind of a divine source energy or the consciousness energy. That consciousness is directing you, or that consciousness is leading you, or that consciousness is making the things do, or whatever the things which you have to do in your life. So now you will run your show according to that higher level of consciousness, or that descent of grace, or that consciousness which you have embodied within you. That is the descent of grace which is, or avaharana phase, which will be happening within you. Now what all lessons you have learned, what all energy you have accumulated, or what all activations which have happened during your kundalini awakening journey or ascent journey, now you will understand what to do with that activations. Now you'll understand what to do with that energy, or what you'll understand what to do with that risen consciousness or that awakened energy. Now you will understand. Before you are awakening, but now slowly you will understand that what to do with the awakened beingness. Okay, now in the kundalini awakening journey you are awakening, you are becoming an awakened being. But what after that awakening, what you will do after that awakening being, or that awakened person will also have some work to do, right? That awakened person, now how that awakened person will be moving on forward in their journey, how they are going to embody themselves, how they are going to carry themselves in the day-to-day world, how they are going to carry themselves in that physical reality, in that 3D reality as an awakened being. So that's what the descent of grace or the top-down awakening will teach you. Now, what to do with your awakened self? Now, how to utilize your awakened energies for the well-being of yourself and the people around you, and also for the planet. So how you're going to embody that awakened consciousness, how you're going to be in that awakened consciousness, how you're going to sustain in that awakened consciousness. Awakening is one task, activating yourself is one task, that is the kundalini rising, but also sustaining that awakened energy or sustaining that awakened being is another task. So this is like this descent of energy is that sustenance, is that maintenance of that awakened consciousness. So not only awakening is difficult, but also how you maintain that awakened consciousness, how you are still are like that lotus who is untouched by that muddy water. That is what is called a sustenance. That is what is you have to do from hereafter. That is what you have to embody from hereafter. You have to maintain that awakened consciousness. If you don't maintain that awakened consciousness, then again the story will repeat. So you have to maintain, you have to behave like an individual being who is awakened being, and you have to do whatever necessary precautions and necessary things which you have to do to maintain and to sustain that awakenedness within you. And how you can utilize that awakened energy within you, that divine will decide, or the consciousness within you which is embodying that awakenedness within you, awakened being within you, that will decide. So it's like the direction, whatever the direction or the disha or the map which the descent of grace have given you, you will follow that map and you will move in the path of that map. So you will be sustaining your awakened consciousness till the time you are here on earth. And in that journey or in that process, you might also see so many changes. Now, it's like you already have that energy, you already have that awakened energy. So now, how you mold that energy, how you design that how you design your life based on that energy, how your life will be from after that awakened energy will be decided by your descent of grace. That's the reason, that's the purpose of the descent of grace. Now you have become that vessel, you have become that channel who has opened up, who are awakened enough so that that channel will be completely filled with that divine fluid or that divine liquid or that divine energy. So now you have prepared your vessel, and in that vessel, that poured consciousness, that divine consciousness will be pouring in, and that pouring of the divine consciousness will run its show, it will run its magic. So that's what I wanted to talk about, the descent. And in this descent, I told you that it's always sky, heaven and fathers, it's always up to down. So here again, you will see in my own journey, I've seen eagles, so many eagles. Before also in my awakening journey, also Kundalini awakening also, in between I saw somewhere eagles and some different types of spirit animals. I've made an entire Harry Potter series. If you are interested, you can listen to that Harry Potter series also. I have clubbed Harry Potter series with the ascension energy, so that those of you who are watching Harry Potter, you can pick up so many ascension quotes from Harry Potter. Not only that, we will also pick up so many divine quotes from my own videos which I have made from Harry Potter. So if you properly utilize your brain, if you understand the puzzles properly, you will definitely activate after listening to my Harry Potter videos. So it depends on you how you're going to solve your puzzles. It depends on you only. So in Harry Potter 1 also, I've told you so many, I've talked about different types of spirit animals, right? So when I was watching the Harry Potter, all these things, Harry Potter was completely related to the Kundalini ascent journey, Arohana phase. So after that, in that also, like there are eagle and phoenix animals or all the spirit animals were there. But it was like temporary. But most commonly you will see snakes in the Kundalini ascent journey or Arohana phase. But in the descent journey, you will see those kind of birds, especially eagle. Why eagle? Because eagle is always in the sky. It is always flying. You will see those birds which are flying, which are in the sky. You will see those organisms which are in the sky. What it is denoting, it is denoting that it is coming from heaven to downwards. It is actually the sky level, and from sky level it is coming to the earth level. So sometimes you can see the eagle, like they are like a sky beings, but they are like for some prey or something, they'll come down, and they will if they have some kind of a work, they'll get down, right? So same like that, you can experience a lot of eagle energies, eagle spirit animal. In my own experience, personal experience, I've seen eagles because it is the descent of grace. It is the symbolic representation of as soon as I got my like top down awakening, descent of grace happening, the next day I've seen like eagle is coming down, like some kind of a personal thing was also there. But yeah, I've seen like some kind of divine energy, and like eagle is coming down, like that I have seen. So this is also a representation that your divine consciousness is coming down, and eagle is a vehicle of the like divine consciousness. Eagle is a spirit animal of the divine consciousness. So that eagle is coming down, and the downward movement of the eagle, or the flying of the eagle, or the any organisms which are like a flying beings, you can see them also. It denotes that now your consciousness is like descending into the matter. Now it's the time for your consciousness to descend into the matter. So that's the reason why you are seeing these kind of energies. And in the Kundalini ascent journey, you are like, I have told you, Radha is always she always wants to know more about Krishna. So here also same thing, your consciousness, what your consciousness will do is, your consciousness is now trying to make changes in your chakra system. So before, it was when your Kundalini ascent journey, it's always about how you can reach towards the spirituality, how you can enter into the spiritual world, how you are entering into the understanding the spiritual world, and how you are understanding the God consciousness. But here now the God consciousness already, it's like Sarvantaryami, it already knows everything, right? So now your God consciousness is descending downwards. It's helping you understand yourself. So before, what all things which have happened in your Kundalini journey, maybe you don't have questions for them. But slowly, what will happen is, because your consciousness is descending downwards into the matter, things will make more sense. You will understand, oh, why that happened, why this happened. Oh, you'll get like so many answers suddenly for everything. Suddenly you will have like some purpose revelations, and suddenly you will happen some kind of a direction. You'll get some kind of a direction, or suddenly you'll have like some kind of a soul purpose. Suddenly you'll have like you'll understand why you're here on earth. You will understand your purpose. Suddenly you'll have like some waking up and some realization about yourself. Suddenly you will have like I think you will get like so many answers for your questions which you were searching. And because your consciousness, it's the God consciousness, and that is descending down. And when that descends down, when the grace descends down, you have already cleared your path. It's not like the people who are only have gone through the top-down awakening. I told you that for them it will be like something different. I've already, in the starting phase of the awakening journey, whatever I know about them, I told you. So if I have to add anything about them in the future, I'll tell you. But this is like for the people who are already like having first Kundalini awakening and then top-down awakening. Because in the Kundalini awakening, it is a permanent change. In Kundalini awakening only, you will cleanse yourself a lot, and that cleansing process is also like a not temporary process, it is permanent process. Because once a Kundalini cleansing happens, there is no going back. It is not temporary, it is like permanent. Something which is ever permanent is the Kundalini cleansing. That is the permanent change, that is the permanent cleansing which is happening. Because you have already gone through a lot of cleansing and the lot of purging and lot of things which are there in your journey. So now, because the vessel is ready, because the vessel is empty, now the divine consciousness can pour in. So you have, in the Kundalini awakening journey, you have prepared your vessel. Now in that vessel, the divine consciousness can pour in, and that divine consciousness will make you do. Now it's not you anymore. Now it's the complete divine consciousness, and now you are surrendered to the consciousness. Before, in the Kundalini awakening journey, surrender will be difficult, and getting into the state of samadhi and getting into those states where you will be like you are not you're trying to meditate, but here the meditation happens by itself. You're like whatever you are doing, whatever you are talking, whatever you are involving, whatever you are engaging in the 3D world, everything is like meditative only. It's like you are yourself like a being in that consciousness, and you're doing the work. So it's like that. So things will become more like effortless, because it's not because you yes, of course it's a descent of grace, but it's also because of your individual efforts. You have attracted this descent of grace. You have done a lot of hard work for this descent of grace to happen. That is also there. So that's also the reason why, because you have done a lot of hard work in the Kundalini awakening journey only, now the journey makes more sense to you. Now the journey got a clear cut, now you'll have more clarity on this journey. And now the descent of grace also like having some kind of purpose, or having some kind of because you embodied this consciousness, you have to sustain this consciousness, and also use this sustenance of the consciousness for the welfare of everybody and everything around you. So you will unknowingly transmit so much of the divine energy and divine consciousness to everything around you. And maybe you know it consciously, or you don't know consciously, but you have become a vessel, a pipe, or or a container, so that the divine consciousness from the heavens can pour in into your body. And those of them who have gone through this process, they're all like a conductors of that divine energy, that conductors of that electricity, okay, that the divineness or the divine codes or the bliss or that liquid light or the golden light, or the pouring of the light. So in this process also, in the descent of grace also, you will go through so many initiations, and so many processes will be happening with you. I'll talk about that process in my future videos. So if you have gone through the descent of awakening, let me know in the comment section below what is your experience with the descent of awakening. Have you experienced all these things or not, and what kind of experiences you have gone through in your descent of awakening or top down awakening? Let me know in the comment section below, so that other people can also read your comments, and they can benefit from whatever get the answers from what also questions they were searching for. Who knows how your one comment can be an answer for somebody's question. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, the top down awakening or the descent of grace, or the avarohana phase. So this was all about the avarohana phase. In my future videos, I'll talk more about the avarohana phase and the differences between the kundalini awakening and avarohana. For that, stay tuned, like, share and subscribe. If you want to avail any paid consultation, mail me at ybhairaj@gmail.com. Sri Ramaraksha Sarva Jagat Raksha Sri Matre Namaha.